New York. Leader Jeffries, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
First week where a lot of folks aren't going to be getting their paychecks. We've got hundreds of thousands of livelihoods hanging in the balance. Democrats could end this, as you know, and you could just actually extend funding levels for 7 weeks. You could kick the can down the road. Why not?
Well, it's very unfortunate that Donald Trump and Republicans have decided to shut the government down because they're unwilling to provide health care to working class Americans. We've said from the very beginning, we'll sit down with anyone, anytime, any place in order to reopen the government, find a bipartisan agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people. We need a spending agreement that improves the quality of life of everyday Americans, that doesn't hurt everyday Americans. And we also need to address this Republican health care crisis that is hurting people all across the country, rural America, working class America, urban America, small town America, the heartland of America, and black and brown communities all throughout America.
So, Mr. Leader, again, longest shutdown was during the first Trump presidency. This is what you said at the time about that particular shutdown. Here it is.
We are willing to take what Senate Republicans have done in order to reopen the government so that we no longer are holding 800,000 federal workers hostage.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing right now. Hundreds of thousands of workers are being held hostage. What's changed from then to now?
Well, actually, Donald Trump is the president. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They can reopen the government if they chose to. The reality is...
Well, they would have to change the rules to be fair.
Well, that's correct. But which they've done multiple times, including using that particular type of process to pass their one big ugly bill, which started this whole Republican health care crisis, largest cut to Medicaid in American history, ripped food out of the mouths of children, and they did it so they could reward their billionaire donors with massive tax breaks. All we're saying is we need a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people, working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans, as opposed to what they've done throughout this year, which is to reward their billionaire donors.
But again, the majority of folks certainly don't want their health care premiums to go up. And I think a lot of folks are watching this and they're wondering, why fight this battle now? Why not reopen the government and still have these conversations and negotiate over the next few months?
Yeah, it's a really good question. But the time is now to address this health care crisis.
But why now?
Well, absolutely. The enrollment period opens on November 1st. Notices have already started to go out, indicating that premiums, copays, and deductibles for tens of millions of Americans all across the country are going to dramatically increase. For example, a couple that makes $88,000 a year currently, which receives the Affordable Care Act tax credits, pays insurance of about $8,000 per year. That will triple to $24,000 a year right now. That's what people are facing right now, which is why we need to address it.
President Trump did say yesterday that he wants to, quote, fix the ACA subsidies. Is that an opening?
Well, he also mentioned that in the White House meeting that we had last Monday. Unfortunately, the White House and Republican leaders have gone radio silent ever since then.
So you guys haven't even talked since last Monday?
We have not talked, but they have my number. We're willing to sit down.
But you do recognize how ridiculous it sounds that the leader of the Democratic Party,
correct,
the president of the United States, no one's even talking about reopening the government. People won't get paychecks this week.
It makes no sense, which is why we're going to be in Washington all week. Unfortunately, Republicans have actually canceled votes because they want to keep the government shut down.
All right. Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Mr. Leader, thank you so much.
Thank you.